What's up, Green 97? It's your favorite cousin's friend, Woody Woodruff. And today we're interviewing Captain Dennis Muhammad.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for this great opportunity to share with a listening audience.
So what inspired you to start the Peacekeepers Global Initiative?
So one day I was watching on the television, they had a story over in Bosnia, and it was dealing with the United Nations. And as they were dealing with Bosnia, they sent in what they call the Peacekeepers. And I said, wow. So the Peacekeepers was made up, check this out, of many of the country. You had the British Peacekeepers, the French Peacekeepers, all of them were Peacekeepers, but they had their flag on the helmet. And the major color was blue. They would go into a country where the civil war, that means they're fighting within the country now. Their job was not to get involved with the dispute. The United Nations Peacekeepers' job is to make sure innocent people don't get killed in the dispute. And I said then, wow, we need a peacekeeping force in the Black community. We need the Christian peacekeepers, the Muslim peacekeepers, the nationalist peacekeepers, and we come up with a color and bam, we put our flag and we work together to solve the problems of the Civil War, because when black people killing black people, that's to me a civil war. And try to make sure innocent people do not get killed until the problem is resolved. That's how I came up with the Peacekeepers.
So what do you think is the biggest issue affecting the community today, especially the Black community?
Dr. Omar Johnson said this: crime and violence is a direct result of unmet social needs. When you look at a community, you're looking at a community that lacks social needs. So what is the problem with the Black community? They lack social needs. Let's look at the Black community. High unemployment, teenage pregnancy, drug and alcohol abuse. Most of the business in the Black community are run by people that don't even live in the community. Lack of fathers in the homes, high prison rate. So you want to know what the Black community problem is? There it is.
So what legislation do you think could be installed and instituted into society to help aid the issues with the communities?
We need a legislation that would not only deal with curfew, because we do believe curfew is very good. We need a legislation that we need to deal with alcohol and drug rehabilitation, but they should never be put in the center of the Black community. We believe that those people who come in and open up these slum businesses should be regulated and monitored and belong to a business association, so we don't come in with people who bring us inferior goods and inferior service and take advantage and do not reinvest back in the very community where they take it. We need this, we need that. Now the politician can go and give you what you want. And that's how I see it, my friend.
So what's the most difficult thing about being in charge of an organization that you're trying to reach on a global level?
Leadership is the hardest thing, my friend, to find. I think that was the problem with Martin Luther King. To find somebody like you, and you can see it, that's a problem because ain't nobody took over since. Jesse got the problem, Minister Farrakhan. Every great leader has a problem to find someone who's like them with the same spirit, that when they die, they keep it going on. And so that's what I like, and particularly, this is a men-driven initiative. Women are in it, but it's a man-driven initiative. The hardest thing, because the nature of any man, white, black, brown, is to be in charge. Men have problems following other men. And so that's a challenge. Well, why we gotta do it your way? I'm a man just like you. So these are the things that we're facing, but we learning. And I've learned something, my friend. That's why I got women involved. And I learned the involvement of women with the Peacekeepers is the balance that keeps the Peacekeepers going, because Men never want to be showed up by women. So they the balance. So long as I got women peacekeepers, I keep those guys in check.
So what other organizations do you work with to help the peacekeepers, or are you guys the only one that you seem to find fighting the same battle?
Any organization that's about the reduction of gun violence, we work with them. We stand with the same attitude. We must work together, man, and we call it collaboration. We don't call it unity, we call it collaboration.
What is a notable speaker that you found helped you find your voice into saying what you want to say nowadays?
Well, my greatest speaker is Minister Farrakhan. I don't know if there's a man that has been so great in his ability to articulate. I'm with the Nation of Islam, everybody know. I've been his personal security for about 45 years. I've been around the country, around the world 3 times with him on world tours. So I've seen the minister speak to millions of people, and being behind him in his personal security, I was attracted to his approach, how he was able to articulate and how well he could communicate, no matter what color, who you are. He had that great oratorial skill. And I used to say, man, I want to be like the minister, I want to be like. So over the years, I have been blessed to try to take the minister's style. I've watched the minister squash beefs. I watched him do conflict resolution right before my eyes. That's what it wasn't called that, but that's what he did. And I loved how he did it. So a lot of that rubbed off on me.
You've traveled a lot, like you said. Where have you been that you think the most depravity and like the poorest regions have been, and where have the best for the Black community and stuff like that? Where have you seen the greatest prosperity?
Wow, my friend. There's really not a city that's doing great, really. New York probably had the greatest potential because so many great people in New York, they got a system called the CMS system, Crisis Management System, which I was a part of its beginning in New York. It's probably about the best because these are all of the boroughs of New York, and all of the major organizations came together in the city, put some money behind them and their idea to cure violence. And they have absolutely reduced crime. You know, they play a major role in reducing crime. And the worst I've seen is cities like New Orleans, Chicago, a lot of down in Louisiana, a lot of the down south. Jackson, Mississippi now is off the chain. Philadelphia, it's either or, you know, it's not that bad. But a lot of these small, you know, St. Louis, a lot of these small towns, and, you know, there's a real, but it's really the smaller towns now. Like Columbus never had this kind of violence before. And Columbus is not a big town, but I mean, it's just off the chain. So a lot of the little cities now are showing up. Los Angeles done a great job in curbing the violence. They used to have a big problem in Los Angeles, but they came together, and they don't have the kind of violence with the Crips and the Bloods they used to have back in the day. So the big cities are solving the problems, while the little cities now is escalating in the problem.
The Peacekeepers wear the color orange. What is the story behind the choice of the color orange?
I needed a color that had a significance. Orange is the only color in the color spectrum that if I put a black shirt on you, he had a white shirt in, he had a yellow shirt and a blue shirt and an orange shirt, and send y'all walking, the rest of those colors would fade in the scenery. The only color that would stand out would be the orange. That's why in institutions, inmates wear orange.
Thank you for your time.
Man, thank you so much. God bless you, man.